As several big names officially file for the race for Senate and the race for governor, we're waiting next Friday's filing deadline to see if there are going to be any big surprises. We're also waiting to see if Congresswoman Victoria Spartz might change her mind about not seeking re-election. She's spoken openly about rethinking that move, telling Politico's Adam Wren last week that she needs to make a decision soon. So we'll see what happens next week and what that could mean in the race for Congress there in the 5th District. Here's what we need to do soon. We need to talk to our panel, and they're all here right now to join us this week. We have former State Party Chair Robin Winston for the Indiana Democrats and Republican Mike Murphy, who's a former state lawmaker, plus our professors here of political science joining us, Dr. Martin Sweet from Purdue University and Dr. Laura Wilson from the University of Indianapolis. Our thanks to the panel for being here with us this week. All right, let's talk about a little bit of intrigue here, Martin, potentially at the filing deadline, both on Spartz's decision and then also this question of whether or not Nikki Haley will get on the ballot here in Indiana.
Right. It looks like, I think the report I'm seeing now says that Haley probably has the numbers. You have to get 500 signatures from each of the 9 congressional districts around the state. She was short in Marion County, but it looks like, at least unofficially, she's got the number. Marion County released those numbers to Adam Wren on Friday. Victoria Spartz has been an enigma, right?
Yeah.
She's been erratic. We don't really know what her leadership style is, other than, for lack of a better term, crazy. And what she has said is that she wants to maybe come back to the district to get sanity back. And I think we can all agree that she should come back and get sanity back.
We'll see what happens, though, amidst the filing deadline. Either way, it's going to be a pretty fascinating election year in Indiana, right? We got a crowded primary in the race for governor, including one of our U.S. senators whose seat is also up for election this year. And it seems like Jim Banks remains a heavy favorite to win that Senate seat as he continues to talk about issues like immigration and China that have been big topics of discussion for Republicans in Congress.
Yeah, and that might be the race that, quite frankly, is more boring in comparison to the gubernatorial race and, of course, the presidential race.
Although there's a little bit of drama as to whether he'll get a primary challenger before the deadline or not.
I'm interested in all the money, right? Because a lot of times in a presidential, you expect that's going to suck up all the air of the room. But when we look at the gubernatorial race, just from filings from the Secretary of State's office last month, you've got $15 million between 5 Republican candidates, and that's still with several months yet to go in the primary and the general race. So a lot of attention, a tremendous amount of money, a very exciting election season.
Mike, I'll turn to you next here. As Banks filed at the Secretary of State's office this week, Secretary of State Diego Morales welcomed him to the office by referring to him as Indiana's next senator. So Indiana Democrats issued a press release. They called that a blatant display of flouting ethical rules for public officials. Do you think he crossed the line there, or do you think that's overblown?
Well, a little bit of both. I think he did cross the line, but it doesn't really make a difference. He also issued something on his official email saying the same thing. So, no, I think it is. I think it's, you know, it's not going to make a difference. Jim Banks is going to be the next U.S. senator. I can say that because I'm not a state elected official, right? Yeah, it's even if he gets a primary opponent, you know, Jim Banks
is the
next U.S. senator.
Robin, how do you see all this from across the aisle?
Well, what we didn't mention is that Joe Biden is going to be the first presidential, I think, maybe to make the ballot here. And those, because I saw them leaving our office with the forms, I think what you're going to find is that it's going to be a battle.
President Trump also got the forms in this week, too.
He turned it in this week, but I'm talking about on our side. Joe Biden made it. He's going to be our nominee. Victoria Spartz, whatever she's going to do, that'll be interesting. We don't really worry about her. We're worried about the governor's race, and that's going to be Jennifer McCormick, who turned in 9,400 and some signed petitions.
Laura, as we talk about the Secretary of State's office and the situation there, the controversy that generated, no doubt public officials also play their partisan role in politics. Sometimes that can be kind of a difficult act to balance.
I think it is, especially when you're considering they have their own interests, their own ideas, but sometimes they do need to refrain from bringing those in terms of serving as an elected official. And I think it's easy for us to judge and evaluate. I think that particular decision was wrong, but I also give a little bit of grace and empathy and understanding that they're balancing several hats here, right? And that is obviously going to be difficult for anyone, especially an elected official who represents both the public, but of course they have their own personal interests too.
A lot of news in this race for governor this week. Braun and Crouch both filing for that race, so did Curtis Hill. Do you see Braun and Crouch at this point, Martin, perhaps as the two most viable candidates in this very crowded primary?
Right, if you believe the polling, and that's sort of what we've seen, is that Braun is probably cut ahead of just about everybody, and then Crouch among the other 4 doing quite well. you know, the problem with Doden and Chambers really is name ID. Curtis Hill has his own ethical issues and hasn't been able to raise any money. And so what we've seen of people who have statewide name ID and are without the ethical baggage, you've got Braun and Crouch.
Yeah, at this point, they seem to be the two at the top of this race. Mike, the lieutenant governor, pretty vocal this past week on the state's Medicaid shortfall and what that means for families relying on money from the FSSA. There was a bill in the State House dealing with some of this. It didn't move forward. There's still a lot of questions here about how the state's going to deal with all of this. Could this be another issue where she sort of makes some moves to separate herself somewhat from the governor's office and the Holcomb administration?
I think she already has. You know, they made a $1 billion mistake. Nobody has, you know, raised their hand and said it was my fault, and they never will. There was a bill in the legislature to try to get into that, right, to investigate it. That's going to die. And so all you know is that they gave $1 billion to IEDC. They gave $1 billion, I think, maybe to the charter schools. And they can't really call that back. So now they're going to balance the FSSA budget on the backs of families with kids with terrible developmental disabilities and things like that. It's a PR disaster for the governor's office. And we'll just have to see what happens.
The FSSA says they're working on a plan to try to get those parents redirected somehow. We'll see. Robin, how will Democrats try to enter that discussion as they try to stay competitive this election year in what's become a very red state?
Well, first off, it's against the most vulnerable people that we have. I mean, you know, you're talking about $1 billion loss that, you're right, nobody stepped up and said it was their fault. And $1 billion for vouchers, $1 billion for the secretive IEDC that does all kind of business deals. This is about money for parents taking care of their kids, and they're going to take that right away from them. That is not right. And I think that you're going to see people, 20,000 people, Dan, signed a petition saying that they were against that action. I think that's going to culminate in people voting this fall for somebody other than a party that's been in power for 20 years. For the lieutenant governor to say that, she's been there. She's been right in the same building. So I don't understand why it's shock and awe at this point.
We'll see how it plays out politically. All right, coming up next, the latest controversy at the State House involving Representative Jim Lucas. We'll show you the video that's now making national news after the break.